If you want to date men, you gotta stop hating men. Hi babes and welcome back to my videos. I'm Avlana Fontaine and I'm here to share my knowledge and journey and help you with your personal growth. I state that me and my videos are of tremendous help to you and that your desire has never been easier to manifest. Of course, if you're not into men at all, maybe this isn't as useful for you. However, this also goes the other way. If you're the type of person who is always like, oh, women are so bad, women are always nagging about things, blah, 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 then this information is still helpful to you. Just flip it, okay? Flip it. But I'm going to talk about men because I see this a lot in social media, like a lot, and I'm kind of done with it. So let's get into it. We get it. A lot of bad things happen. Men have been really questionable like throughout history, right? And especially in the last, I don't know, 10 years or something. The hate for men is growing and growing and growing, especially on social media, to the point where sometimes when I scroll on TikTok or even like YouTube, right? It's like this narrative that all men are bad. All men do horrible things. All men are just dumb and annoying. All men use women. You cannot be friends with a man if you are a woman because they always want something and they always betray you, and men are cheaters, and a lot of those kind of narratives. We have men go into the defensive, say, oh, but not all men, blah, 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 on which the women are like, yeah, not all men, but like, you know, we can't trust any of you unless proven differently. And I'm not saying you should disregard common sense or that you shouldn't be careful in your life. However, the narrative that all men are like this and focusing constantly on how bad men are as a whole is not doing you any favors. It isn't allowing space for men in your life either. Because we know that what we think is what we create, and what we believe is what we see. So if you are going around constantly being like, oh, all men are bad, all men do this, I cannot trust a man, and you want to date men, how are you going to find that one person that isn't like that? That's exactly how you want them to be. That is kind and chivalrous and who takes you out on dates, who potentially pays for you. I don't know what you want, right? I'm not going to tell you what your desire is. That this is very common, but you might want something completely different, which is fine. However, if you want a happy relationship in which you are treated nicely and right, and the way you deserve as someone who has a good self-concept, as someone who loves themselves, how are you going to get there if you do not believe that men like that exist? If you do not believe that you will ever see men like that? Maybe you believe they exist somewhere, like some kind of fairy, or only in books, only in fiction, but not in your life, not around you, not the people near you. How? Tell me, how are you going to find the person that you're looking for? It is very important how you phrase things, how you think about things, and what you tell yourself. Are there bad men out there? Sure, plenty. But why do we need to assume that they are around us? And before you say, well, it's because I have this bad experience and this bad experience and that bad experience. Yeah, okay. But we are not our past, our future is not our past, and our past isn't helping us here. Regardless of how bad your experience with men has been up until now, we aren't that person anymore. We aren't going to allow that in our lives anymore. Instead, it would do you so much more good if we change our mindsets. It would do us so much more good if we change our mindset around men. So tell yourself things like, okay, maybe even if you find it difficult to start, if you find it difficult to flip the thought completely. Maybe start half positive, right? Like, oh yeah, there are a lot of bad men in the world, but not around me. The men around me are good. That would be a good affirmation. However, I would recommend being entirely positive about it. Like, maybe just all men around me are good. All men that I have contact with have good intentions. It is very easy for me to find good men in my life. Men always have honorable intentions around me. I am always treated with respect by the men around me. I get along great with men. And for all the girls that want princess treatment, queen treatment, anything that is a little bit more old school, maybe just include that in your affirmations. So for example, men always want to pay for me, men always hold the door for me, men always treat me like a princess or like a queen. Whatever it is that you want specifically, affirm for it, right? However, make sure that it's not just, oh, my SP does this, which, I mean, I guess that is a very good affirmation for getting your SP, right? However, if men in general treat you good, treat you nicely, you have a very different type of relationship with men in general, which makes dealing with men easier. Also, in your relationship with a man, it isn't going to interfere as much, because you could have a relationship with a man that you like and he could treat you right, as you've affirmed. However, if you keep that mindset of all men do this or all men do that, that is going to interfere one way or another. It is going to slip in. So my advice to you is to change the way you view men in general. Now, I've been there, right? I've been there. I have fallen for the same trap as everyone else. I felt like it. Men are bad. I hate men. I don't hate men, but like I hate most men, you know. All men are messy and don't want to help out and aren't good fathers and blah 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 blah. You know, like the entire narrative that everyone has this day and age. Yeah, I've been there. However, I realized that this is not the way to go. This is not what I want. If I keep this hostile, resentful energy around men, then how am I ever going to find someone that I feel safe with and that I feel okay with and that I can respect? Because yes, we need to be respected, but we need to respect our men too. They need to be respected. Our lovers need to be respected. Respect needs to be mutual. And if you already do not have respect for men, then how are you going to allow good men into your life? Think about it the other way. Would you date someone who doesn't respect women? I don't think so, would you? I mean, maybe when your self-concept was low, but we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Our self-concept is high. We think highly of ourselves here, okay? We are princesses, we are queens, we are masters, we can do anything. We believe in ourselves. We are worthy of love. So no, we would not date someone who does not respect women. But we shouldn't be someone who doesn't respect men. Everything starts with a thought, and things become easier as you go, okay? I started changing my mind about this a few months ago, I guess. Not super actively, just bit by bit. I started to think, right, I should respect men. I should think about this positively. I should think about, oh, you know, the men in my life are good. Good men exist. Good men exist. I have good men around me. And the funny thing is, my mindset changed pretty quickly. Also because I was very determined about this, right? It just clicked. I was like, oh, right. This is true. This is how I should be thinking now. I started seeing differences also in social media, even TikTok. Like most of the videos in my feed, right, that include men, so like couples or just stories about people being married or whatever, are about good men. Of course, not all of them, but I just kind of scroll past the ones that are really bad, unless it's really interesting. But I don't tell myself, like, oh my god, see, men are so bad. Men do this again. Like, I don't have that expectation of men being bad. And you know what I've been seeing a lot on TikTok? Men that have been exactly how I want. Like if I were to date a man, the way that they are on TikTok right now, like on my feed, are exactly how I would want like my boyfriend to be. Exactly. Okay, they're chivalrous, they care about their woman, they are nice to her, they do nice things for her, they uh, give her thoughtful gifts, they listen. She's basically their world. She's treated how she deserves to be treated. And more importantly, they do it back. The girls, they do it back to their partner. Okay? They're good partners. They're good lovers. They respect their men. So it's mutual respect. It's a good, healthy relationship. And a good, healthy relationship doesn't have to mean that there's never a fight or never a disagreement, but it's healthy. They don't treat each other toxically. They think highly about each other. They listen to each other. They listen when there is a conflict and they resolve it together because both want to be in the relationship and both think the world of each other. Both think that my life is better with you in it and I do not want to lose you. And that comes from mutual respect. Now, am I saying that you would never get a boyfriend if you do not think positively about men? No, I'm sure it happens, right? But how big is the chance that you're going to self-sabotage somewhere down the line? That you're going to think like, oh my god, but what if he's cheating on me? Because men cheat, you know? What if he actually doesn't like me that much? What if he's talking to blah 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 blah? Stop! Just stop, okay? I get it. This is the narrative. This is what you've been fed. But you are the one who keeps this narrative going. You are the one that's allowing this narrative to be something in your life, okay? To be a actual part of how you think, of what happens around you. Because you're not changing the way you think about men. Because you keep thinking, oh, men are cheaters. If I'm in a relationship, that's really nice and all, but I do need to watch out because what if they cheat? This is just one example, right? You can think other things, like maybe they're not going to be a good dad, maybe they're going to leave me, maybe they don't want me, blah 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 blah. That's not helping you. And I understand where it comes from. I understand what put that in your mind, but it is up to you to take that out, to not accept that as fact anymore, to be like, okay, you know, we've been here, we've been there, we have had this narrative for a while, but it is not serving me. I do not want it. I want to trust my partner. I want to be in love and know that I am loved back. I want to respect my partner and be respected back. I want a healthy relationship where I do not have to doubt. Okay, I do not have to doubt that I'm gonna be cheated on because why would they? Look at me, look at how I am. I love myself, they love me. I love them, they love themselves, right? We are in this together. There's literally zero reason for them to ever cheat on me. They wouldn't want to. They never would even consider it because we are in such a good, healthy, committed relationship with each other. Those are thoughts that you could be thinking that would help you so much more. And I guarantee you that even if it's hard in the beginning, the second it becomes more of a belief, it's going to be so much easier. Right now, after months of doing this, there are times where I still have a thought, right? Like, oh my god, men do this or whatever, or like, of course they did. However, moments like that are rare. They do not happen often. It is much more common for me, right, to think like, oh yeah, see, this is the type of men that I like, that I'm attracted to, that I want around me. I see that much more, and I keep confirming it. Every time I see it, it's like, see, this is what I like. This is what I want. It is this. Thank you, universe, for showing this to me. And scrolling past the very toxic TikToks and all that stuff, also something that I started doing and what I recommend you to do. Which wasn't easy at first because I was kind of addicted to the drama. Someone would come on TikTok and be like, oh my god, this man wronged me. And I'd be like, oh my god, girl, tell me the tea. Let's hate him together, right? And I'd be all for it. I'd be like, okay, tell me, what did he do? And I don't even know the man. I don't know the girl. And I just feed into it. I'd be like, yeah, as expected. This is how men are. Nope. I'm not doing that anymore. Whenever I catch myself doing it, I'm like, oh, old story. This is not my reality anymore. And we scroll past it, okay? We scroll past it. However, the opposite. Whenever I see something and a man behaves in a good way, exactly how I want it to, or even if a girl just tells the story about like her husband or her boyfriend or whatever, I'm like, yes, this is good behavior. This is what I want to see. I will watch it. I will interact with it, and I will confirm it in my head. Like, see, this is how good men are. This is how they are. This is how the men in my life are. And I just keep confirming it. It changes the way you look at life, honestly. This also kind of ties in with stop complaining about things, right? We are designed to complain about basically anything. Everything always needs to be in complaints, and everything gets grouped in with each other. Like, one thing cannot be a bad thing on its own. No, that bad thing is always connected to something else. So when two things go bad in your day, this day is horrible. In fact, 2 days ago something bad happened too, so this entire week is horrible. Oh my god, this month something bad happened, last month something bad happened, and guess what? The month before that, multiple bad things happened. So, you know what? This entire year, in fact, has been horrible. You know, we're kind of like that. Or we're kind of programmed in that way to complain, to be like, everything is going wrong, okay? Everything is bad, everything works against me. But that entire thinking process is what works against you. If something bad happens, sure, it's bad, it sucks, it is okay for it to suck. It is okay for you to feel bad about it, by the way. We do not have to think that everything is happy and merry all year round, right? However, when something bad happens, we need to start, well, there's multiple things that we can do, right? But one of the things that we really need to start doing when that happens is to see it as a separate thing. This bad thing happens, sure, but it's only this bad thing. And if tomorrow another bad thing happens, then that is only one bad thing. That is not connected to the bad thing right now. That's not connected to whatever bad thing might have happened 5 days ago or 7 weeks ago. It is so important that we do not fall into those negative spirals, because that is what makes us feel depressed. That is what makes us feel like the world is bleak and have no hope for the future. So stop piling everything together. Stop trying to find a pattern in everything that is bad just to complain, because complaining is easy. We are used to complaining. We have been complaining our entire lives. Okay, this is our default state. It is so much more easy to explain to someone what went bad in your day or in your week or in your life. It is so easy to play the victim mode, and I can go very much more in depth on that, like why we do it and what we should be doing, but I'm completely getting distracted from the point, right? I was talking about men, why we shouldn't see men as bad in general, And I think I've made my point, so I'm going to stop the video here. Like I said before, I know this helped you on your journey and your desires are being manifested right now. Bye-bye!